The West Coast is home to some of the best auto enthusiasts, fabricators, and builders in the world. This breed of creative people have dedicated their lives to the automotive aftermarket scene by taking stock and making it rock. My name is Todd Hayden, and this is Legends on the Left. On this episode, we stay right here in my town, Frederickson, Washington. My name is Todd Hayden. I was born and raised around the automotive scene, so it was only natural to work, play, and live in this life I love of custom cars and trucks. I do custom auto upholstery, graphic design, automotive design consulting. Add to that, I was the chairman of the Northwest Mini Truck Council. Plus, I was the creator and founder of Minitruck Mayhem. When I have myself driving a Volkswagen in my car on a t-shirt with Volkswagens, that means I do a lot of Volkswagens.
In your opinion, what makes the West Coast so legendary?
The attitude, the weather. I mean, we get a lot of rain up here, but we do have nice summers, and the West Coast, you can find any spot during the year to have a nice place to go to get away. And that reflects in the vehicles. It's the West Coast theory of vehicles is more of just passion about the feeling of the vehicle, not the vehicle itself.
What's been your history with the car scene on the left coast?
Lifelong. I've been lifelong in the scene, and
Okay, hold on.
oh no, this is good. Hey, film in here. Here, give him here. Let me see him. So, but yeah, lifelong in the scene, lifelong into lowered vehicles. I'd like to say that I was the first to do a few things up here, and in the Northwest, I mean, and I'm happy to say that there's a lot of firsts that happen up here these days, and we're actually part of the West Coast, but we make our stamp up here known with some of the shows that are going on and going to be going on. And
what was your first vehicle that got you into the scene?
the first vehicle, lowered vehicle that I had was a Datsun 620. It was a 70. I want to say maybe like a 74 or 75, 4-speed, horrid. It was just, you couldn't drive it on the freeway without wearing earplugs. It was so loud, winding out. But it was low and it bounced, and the headlights, one of the headlights came out one time. These parts would fall off of it. Those old trucks at the time weren't meant for the abuse that people put them through these days. But yeah, that was the first one, and I've had tons of them since then, and they're a fun truck.
What was your first car-related award for?
My first car award was I want to say 92. It was for best under construction at a hamburger joint. The club that put it on was called Joker's Wild. They were a bunch of military guys, so they were just constantly rotating. It was always interesting because you just got if you met up with them, you would see the next group of mini trucks from Georgia or North Carolina or South Carolina or wherever, and they'd all come and join this club, and then the next week they'd get transferred off to somewhere else, and another group of mini trucks guys would come, so we could see mini trucks. We would have, every month we'd have our own live mini trucking going on right there with at the hamburger joint for these shows that they had. So, but no, it was a primered Nissan 84.5 Nissan 720.
What award have you won from being the most?
Probably when my 89 Mazda, when that was like at the peak of its cleanliness, it was done pretty good. And over in Apple Blossom in Wenatchee, there's a car show every year. They had just hundreds and hundreds of vehicles, all makes and models and that sort of thing. And little did I know is they had the Mazda Manufacturers Award, and it was Mazda dealers, the local Mazda dealers went around and picked the Mazda they thought was the best to represent their company. And they chose mine. That's a plaque that I still have. Yeah, that was probably the best award, because that wasn't one of your peers who you know what they're gonna like. These were a bunch of suits walking around with clipboards, and that was a good memory, good times.
Coming up.
I try to keep everything I do automotive related as well, so I'm practicing what I'm preaching on this adventure that we're doing.
What do you currently do for a living, Todd?
Do upholstery. Been doing upholstery since 2004. And then I do digital design, do some automotive consulting with people who are working on vehicles. So.
What upholstery job have you done that you're most proud of?
I would say the one that, you know, gets the most attention, but a lot of my stuff I do gets attention, so I have fun. I like fun jobs. I like fun colors and fun designs, and I would say probably for the Bug, DOS Zombie that we had, our family vehicle, that one, it got the exposure it needed, and I was able to run the PR for that social media, the hashtag and its own Instagram page, and got a lot of followers and a lot of people taking pictures of it at shows and retagging it and everything. That was a fun car.
How's the first season of Legends on the Left been?
You know, this has been an interesting adventure we've been on, because as of filming this, it's been exactly a year that we filmed our first episode, our footage for our first episode, to see if this was something we were going to do. And it's been cool to just go around to the few different shops that we have so far, and just the support that we've got from everybody who we've met, who saw the project that we're doing and had hidden social media pages that were 0 likes, and people dug into them and found them every time we talked about the show, and started digging in and finding it and started liking our social media pages that we haven't even opened up to the public yet, or announced that we had to start gaining followers and that sort of thing. So I'm excited about where it's going to go.
Any ideas you have for the future of Legends on the Left?
Oh, as budget dictates. That's what it's going to come down to, with where we go and the accommodations and the hospitality in different parts of the West Coast. You know, see if this is actually the family atmosphere that we're, you know, hoping that it is, and seeing, and people see on the passion on the episodes that they watch.
American made or imported?
That's a tough one, because imports are now American made, and American made are now made in Mexico. So.
So what's negative behavior?
Negative Behavior is a club that I started and founded back in 2000. So next year will be our 20th anniversary. For those who are into minitruckin Courtney Hollowell, he was the editor at that time before he passed away, and he immediately called me up and said, worst name ever for a club. Negative Behavior, you can't name a club that. It's just going to let off all sorts of bad stereotypes and that sort of thing. And I told him that he was blowing smoke, that he was going to take that name if I didn't, because it was so awesome. And so we argued about that. And so eventually it stuck, and I ran with it, and we confirmed it. we're just like any other club. We have rebuilding years, we have strong years, and now we're back with a group that's probably the strongest group that we've had in years. It's fun. It's an extended family, and we always look forward to our meetings and get-togethers and whatnot. In fact, there are one right now. We're recording and editing today.
How has your taste in vehicles evolved over the years?
I don't think it has, because everything looks good low, and that's just how it is. And I could look at, there could be a brand new vehicle they're advertising on the television, and I'm picturing it lowered 6 or 8 inches and blacked out windows, and like pretty much how they make them in the commercials. They need to sell that version, not the cheesy stock version that fills the lots. A lot less probably stress and road rage. These out on the road, if people drove just cool looking vehicles, you'd want to go slow just so you could see rolling wet.
Have any last messages you want to leave our viewers with?
Build what's in your heart. If it, in terms of working on a vehicle, build what's in your heart, and definitely on your budget, because that's the biggest thing that disappoints everyone is the cost of things. And so make sure that your wallet can handle the endeavor. That's the biggest thing. And just enjoy what you do.
Well, Todd, it's been a good interview. Why don't you say we go for a ride?
Okay, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have to shave and add 60 pounds. Something different. We got into minis after the Volkswagens, after messing around with those and having one that was magazine worthy. And this is my 2013 Mini Cooper, and it's a roadster. I love it because there weren't many of these made. It was a limited run. They're just fun to see the different things that you can come up with and do to them. Like this one has all manual coilovers. So I drive it stance. I guess it's a static drop. That's what I like to call it, because I like driving low, and I love airbags, and I love being one of the first ones to do an air shock suspension up here all the way around, adjustable air shock suspension. But something to be said about just being low all the time. You know, when you're going down the road, you're driving. Who wants to be stock height? I like being low. People get scared about that. I've been driving lowered vehicles for so long that it doesn't matter anymore. I can drive one in my sleep, and I enjoy it. Keeps my eyes on the road that way. Rocking negative behavior, still, after almost 20 years. President and founder of Negative Behavior, and we just love vehicles. Doesn't matter what you have, as long as you're happy with it, something that you like to rock and cruise in and go to events and hang out and have friends and That's all it's about. Ah, school bus. Gonna kill my interview. This asshole's dumping water in the middle of the street, so now I gotta drive through a big old puddle of water. I'm so lucky I didn't detail this thing earlier. Get out of the way. Everyone else is on strike. Why is this school district not on strike? All right, and we got a phone call. Can't stop business. Oh, it's a beautiful day. I love driving my car. I'm driving something that's more of a Mini than a lot of other people are driving these days because Mini is in the name. So when you say you're a mini trucker, show me your mini truck. That's how you keep the sport alive. The black wheels, it was murdered out. And I was gonna go for that look, but I like the chrome. I'm glad to see chrome's coming back. I'm glad that maybe next season there'll be more options for some chrome wheels. Maybe go back to chrome. I don't know. I've always had bad luck with that, with the flaking and chrome peeling. Just want to cruise, just want to drive. I enjoy driving. I enjoy having fun. This is what it's all about. And I'm glad to be able to share part of my life in this sport and this hobby and this lifestyle. Thank you. Another bus.
And now, this is old-timey cars by Todd Hayden.
We were in Eastern Washington, and there were two shows, one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. So we made a whole 3-day run out of it, left on a Friday, hit the Saturday show, and it was quite a good turnout. That was I want to say that show was in Spokane. And so then we were hitting I-90 and cutting back over to Wenatchee. I believe that's where the show was the next day. And there ended up being probably over 100 of us in mini trucks, flashy mini trucks in the middle of nowhere in a line. And I was first. People just having fun, and next thing you know, you see that little mirage up ahead, and it's like, what is that? Couldn't tell. It was just, we were just having a good time, and we look up ahead, and it's state troopers completely blocking I-90 in our direction, pointing with flares to the off-ramp into the rest area. So we take the rest area, and I immediately pull in the parking spot farthest away from where they have the rest stop blocked, because I'm just gonna hide in the back a little bit, right? And so officer comes on the speaker horn, the bullhorn, and says, I want the guy leading the pack and I want the guy ending the pack. Up here now. You got 5 minutes to show your faces. And he talked like that because it was kind of a backward, area in the middle of nowhere. So kind of had that going for the scare factor. And so, yeah, everyone's coming over and they're like, Todd, you gotta go. And I was like, I'm not going. No, I'm not. And they're like, you gotta go. Otherwise they're gonna impound all our vehicles. And so I was like, oh. So I go up there and he proceeds to just have our asses that it was ridiculous what we were doing. We can't have convoys more than 5 people or something. And it was just showing his weight, but not really able to do anything because he couldn't prove anything that we were doing anything wrong. And besides going down the road. And so he was like, now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna walk around. I want to get some pictures of some of these rides. And he went and just walked around. He actually sat in mine. He's like, this was the one that was in front, wasn't it? Yeah, And so, but yeah, that was probably one of my one of my better times, because it was just badass with that many just rolling in a straight line, just nothing but a rainbow of colors behind you, because people had paint back then, so they were painted vehicles. Would I do it again? Any time.
Are you, or someone you know, a customizing legend located here on the West Coast? Contact us at legendstvcasting@gmail.com and we could be filming you for an upcoming season.